Hello, London. I'm Matt Brown, and this is the Matt Brown Podcast. It's a show about all things local and maybe some other stuff too. This episode is another abridged version of Newmakers, the show I host over on Rogers TV. The topic today, carbon monoxide awareness, and we'll also take a deep dive into all things London Fire Department and what they do to keep us safe every single day. So, with that, let's go.
Discover London Bicycle Cafe.
Cozy up with a daily soup and sandwich or unwind with an evening latte and some Dutch comfort food.
London Bicycle Cafe at the Forks of the Thames. See you soon.
So, as I mentioned off the top, this episode is being recorded during Carbon Monoxide Awareness Week. And that's why Deputy Fire Chief Matt Heptich and Jamie Kovacs, who is the Executive Director of the Fire Marshal's Public Safety Council, as well as a volunteer firefighter in Central Elgin, are joining us for the first segment of our show. They're going to tell us all about a partnership that London has formed with many other communities across the province with Enbridge Gas. Earlier this week, they made a big announcement, and now you're going to hear all about it. Matt, Jamie, welcome to Newsmakers.
Thanks for having us.
Jamie, let's start with you. Can you
Sure.
tell us about the partnership between London Fire and Enbridge?
Yeah, so this year London Fire was one of the 75 different departments across Ontario that are recipients of these free combination kit alarms through Enbridge Gas. In total this year, Enbridge is donating 14,000, I think it's 220 alarms across the province, and these are a smoke and carbon monoxide alarm. London received 600 of these alarms.
Wow. I mean, that's a lot of alarms for London. It's a lot of alarms for communities right across Ontario. It's got to, have a significant cost associated with it. Why would Enbridge do something like this? It's pretty amazing.
It is, and I'm blessed I get to deal with the employees at Enbridge, and I see their commitment to keeping people safe. This is one of the ways that they want to help not only get alarms to the community to keep residents safe in their homes with gas appliances, but it's also the education part. We don't want people to just be scared of a gas appliance and carbon monoxide because they're quite safe. It's just the importance of having these alarms in the homes to just identify if there is a carbon monoxide issue. And that's what Enbridge leverages with the fire departments to go out and educate the communities with these alarms.
What can you tell us about carbon monoxide poisoning? I know it's deadly.
Yep.
It's pretty quick.
And Matt, feel free to jump in. It's odorless. It's tasteless. You don't know when it's around you. So even people that think it will never happen to me, many times, Matt, I'm sure you guys have been out, whether it's a stove that's leaking or it's a gas heater that's leaking, sometimes it's a fireplace, you don't know what's going on, or it's not like smoke.
Right, right.
And
I wanted to ask you, Matt,
Yeah.
are you getting a lot of calls?
Well, I would say in 2024, we had over 800 calls. And to this point in 2025, we've had just over 700. So that's 1,500 calls, more than 1,500 calls over a 2-year period. Those calls range from anything to CO alarm ringing to possible CO poisoning. It could be just somebody has a faulty alarm. But to call 911 for CO or CO alarm ringing is a legitimate call. So we encourage people to make that call just to ensure that they are safe.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask you about that because so the alarm, it might be faulty, and so it goes off. But let's make sure that we, err on the cautious side. Right. And also, a person calls 911, they can't see it, they can't smell it, they can't taste it. Right. So this is a pretty serious problem. If they suspect that there might be a leak, but they don't know, still call.
Absolutely. I mean, we call carbon monoxide or CO, we call it the silent killer because, like you said, you can't see it, you can't smell it, you can't taste it. The only way that you're going to know that it's in your home is by your carbon monoxide alarm ringing. You may also start to have flu-like symptoms, which include nausea, dizziness, vomiting. You may get very lethargic, and then eventually you're going to pass out, and you may actually die from that. So if your carbon monoxide alarm is ringing, absolutely make the call. It's a 911 call.
Right on. And if you're experiencing those symptoms, make the call. 911, the phone call is made. What happens next?
So make sure, so if you start having these symptoms or your CO alarm is activated, it's going off with 4 quick beeps, much different than your smoke alarm. So 4 quick beeps, you need to exit your home, call 911 from a safe location, making sure that you're not opening windows or doors. Close it up, because when we get there, we're going to go in with our gas monitors, gas meters, and we're going to check your fired appliances to see where that gas leak potentially could be.
I gotcha. You've got 600 of these alarms that have been donated through Enbridge. How are you going to distribute them across London?
So we our Sound the Alarm, Stay Safe London smoke alarm program. We're going to be running. We ran it this year for approximately 6 weeks. We're going to be running it again in the spring and fall next year. So we will use those alarms for our smoke alarm program to hand out to those people in our community who will need it. This past year, we handed out over 400 smoke alarms. So this is a significant contribution that we can help. It will help us provide alarms to our community.
Gotcha. Yeah, it sounds so important. This is a week of awareness, so it must be a busy week as well.
It is. It's been a very busy week. We're very, very proud, very happy to partner with Enbridge Gas and the Fire Marshal's Public Fire Safety Council. We're very blessed to have had this opportunity.
And you're the executive director, Jamie, of the Safety Council. What is that? What's their purpose? What's their mission?
So we are a government agency, but we're a non-publicly funded government agency, and we're legislated in the Fire Protection and Prevention Act to really work with corporations to get funding to bring campaigns to the fire service.
I see.
So Enbridge has been a partner of ours since 2009. They do Project Assist, which is textbooks and training materials to volunteer and composite departments. And then we basically handle alarms for the department. When you go door to door, the lack of alarms is heartbreaking.
And I think I've seen London Fire going door to door in the past.
Yeah, so just over the summer, we're revamping our Sound the Alarm, Stay Safe London smoke alarm program. So we had just revamped it, we started it up and got it going this year again. So we did have fire crews going door to door for 6 weeks.
And we don't have an alarm or my alarm's not working. What happens next?
So what we do is we provide that education and let them know to install smoke alarms, it's the law under the Ontario Fire Code, which is provincial law. So if they require a smoke alarm, we're able to help them or assist them with that.
Right, and it's all about prevention. I mean, it's
100%.
a good use of resources. If firefighters aren't responding to a call and they've got a little bit of time in their schedule, that door to door is a great idea.
Yeah, and our goal is to make sure our community is safe, and we take that very seriously.
Let's talk a little bit about what we ought to be doing. I can remember in grade school having a firefighter come and provide some education about developing a plan, but it's probably worth talking about this week especially. What should people think about if they live, let's say, in a single family home or in a townhouse?
So when it comes to home fire escape planning, you want to make sure that you plan for 2 ways out of every single room. Okay, so you're going to we have diagrams that people can use to draw out their home and plan 2 ways out of every single room. From there, you're going to make sure that everybody is aware of what to do when the smoke alarm goes off or the CO alarm goes off. And from there, you're going to make sure that everybody goes outside, that you have a meeting place in that home escape plan. Everybody knows the number to 911, and you're going to make sure that when you get out, you stay out.
Get out, stay out.
Right.
That's a very important, I think, direction for you to provide. We think about townhouses and we think about single family homes, but maybe we don't think often about apartments. And there's a whole lot of those here in London, and there's more coming online every single year.
Right.
I'm sure it's similar, but what would you do in that situation?
So every residential occupancy that exceeds 10 and the occupant load is required to have a fire safety plan. Okay, so in those buildings, they're also required to post emergency procedures. So if you live in an apartment building, you need to make sure that you're aware of the emergency procedures. The building has a fire escape plan, so that you can speak to the property management or the superintendent and ask to take a look at that. In that fire escape plan, you are required to follow certain procedures. There are procedures for the supervisory staff. There are procedures for the occupants as well. Request a copy of that, because that fire safety plan is for you as an occupant and for the superintendent or property manager, so they know what to do. Follow the emergency procedures. No 2 ways out. If you're in a larger building, you come out your door, you can go left or right to the exit stairwells. The positive side to a high-rise apartment building is that it's the concrete walls there that provide 2-hour fire separation. So you can, if you need to, you can also defend in place. But you have to make that decision to stay or go before the fire occurs.
Gotcha. We've only got about a minute left. And Jamie, I learned something the other day about the work that you do and partnership with the Blue Jays.
Yes.
We've all got Blue Jay fever still. Can you tell us about that?
The Blue Jays were fantastic last year, and they expressed their interest again this year. They donated 1 million activity sheets that had BIPA, Sparky, and ACE on the sheet with a good fire safety message. They wanted every fire department in Ontario, so 447 departments, even if that department had 10 firefighters and the population was 500, they wanted them to get the J sheets. So the council took the J sheets, we distributed them right across Ontario, did it based on population. So whether you were in London, Toronto, or Oakville, or you were up in Red Lake, you got those activity sheets and they were spread to the kids.
Wow. And I was fortunate enough to go to a number of games this year. I think I also saw a message played just before the game started, so each and every time. My
goal when I got on was to bring the Blue Jays and fire safety together again. And I said we were blessed with the Jays, such a good organization. They arranged to bring John Pegg, the fire marshal, out. He threw the first pitch to get this partnership started. And before every game, the Office of the Fire Marshal has done a video about Test Your Smoke Alarm Day. And that plays with a QR code that you can scan. It's interactive. And that was before every home game.
Oh, that's phenomenal. Yeah. Jamie, Matt, we're out of time. Thanks so much for coming on the show.
Our pleasure.
Thanks for having us.
After the break, Deputy Chief Heptich is sticking around, and we're going to be joined by Chief Gary Bridge as well. We're going to be talking all things London Fire. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Discover London Bicycle Cafe.
Cozy up with a daily soup and sandwich or unwind with an evening latte and some Dutch comfort food.
London Bicycle Cafe at the Forks of the Thames. See you soon.
And we're back. As I said just before the break, we're joined again by Deputy Chief Matt Heptich and also Deputy Chief Gary Bridge. They're here for a little while longer, and they're going to give us a better idea of what our London professional firefighters and our fire prevention officers do each and every day. So let's go. Matt, welcome back. Gary, welcome to the show.
Pleasure to be here.
Oh, well, we're thrilled that you took the time. The fire department does a lot of things other than fighting fires. I imagine folks at home, maybe they're not aware of all of the work that the London Fire Department does. I thought maybe we'll start there.
Okay, so my division is the Fire Prevention and Public Education Division. So we fight fires in a different way. Our job is to work with the community in different buildings and homes to make sure that they're in compliance with the Ontario Fire Code, which is provincial law. So we do inspections of any type of building, so industrial, assembly, commercial, we can do all those under the Ontario Fire Code. We also do public education. So we'll go into elementary schools, we'll go out and do pub ed displays in malls. We can speak to different seniors in our community. We can do portable extinguisher training. Another thing that my division does too is we do fire investigations. So when the fire,
tell me about that.
Yeah, so when the fire is out, our inspectors are trained and certified to be origin and cause determination of fires. So the fire gets extinguished, our inspectors or investigators will go on site to determine the cause of that fire.
Gotcha. Yeah. Gary, London's seen a lot of growth over the past 10 years or so. How many firefighters are there that we would have in this community, and how many fire stations?
Yeah, so we have 425 men and women of the fire service.
Okay, that's up from 385 was the number that
There
I
we
had
are.
in my head from 10 years ago.
Yeah, so we have 425 approximately across 14 stations, soon to be a 15th just on the south end of London here.
Oh, well, this is breaking news. There's a new fire station coming to London?
That's right. And it's just to really account for the population growth as we grow as a community. We are responsive as a fire department to the needs of the community, and as it grows, we grow.
Absolutely. I mean, London really is growing at a dramatic rate. Probably some of the calls are becoming more complex than in the past. Particularly, I live downtown, and I see on a very regular basis, not only EMS responding to a call for a person who's experiencing homelessness, for example, I see fire there often too. How's that changed the job?
Yeah, so we respond to 14,000 calls a year. Those
14,000.
calls, it's a significant number. And we talk about the unsheltered individuals downtown. It's changed how we respond. We respond. Oftentimes we think we respond to only family or only fires, but we respond to a significant number of medicals and a lot of the unsheltered individuals across our city have increased our number of calls.
Yeah, it's complicated work for sure. A firefighter shift, I don't know if folks at home will know, is a pretty long one. Why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, so our firefighters start at 7:45 in the morning and end at 7:45 the following morning. So it's a 24-hour shift. And over that 24 hours, depending on the station you're assigned at, you could be working a number of alarms. You could be working upwards into 20 alarms a day. So, depending on the station you're assigned to, you're on the go a fair amount. But often the question is, what do they do in their downtime? And I think it goes beyond just as firefighters. We don't just simply respond to alarms. Public education is our mandate. And that means going home to home. That means spending time at grocery stores, sharing information. That's spending time at schools. Public education is our first line of defense in the fire service. And just because we're in the firefighting division does not mean that we're not a big part of public education.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Matt, you touched on that as well. When I was serving on city council, I had the privilege to do a ride along. So I spent a day with a crew from Station 1. And my goodness, there's not a lot of downtime. I think that through my experiences on council, I got to jump out of an airplane a few times. I got to fly in a fighter jet. But I think the scariest experience I had was going down Wellington at about 60 kilometers an hour into traffic, around and through those traffic lights. It's a stressful job too. I mean, you got to think that you can go from, and I experienced it, 0 to 100 when that bell chimes.
Yeah, and I mean, when you think about a firefighter's job, is a big chunk of it is whether they're doing training, whether we're wandering around the halls. Within that 6 or 7 minutes, they could be at a structure fire. They could be at a VSA call. They could be at a motor vehicle collision. And so you think of the heart rate and the requirements to get up to speed really quick. And that's just not at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That's 2 o'clock in the morning, where they maybe just happen to get some sleep at that point, and those tones go off. And within that 6-7 minute, they're at those calls. And including the driver that needs to travel through that busy traffic.
Absolutely, absolutely. I also had an opportunity to spend some time at the training center over on Wellington, and to climb on a rope down a building, and just to see how hot fire can be, and how important the equipment that the firefighters have is to keep them cool and breathing, and it's quite the job. Now, it's a 24-hour shift, so then that means that you must have to have a number of different shifts organized for each of the 14, soon to be 15 stations. Yeah,
so we have 4 platoons that operate at any one time. We have approximately 80 firefighters on at any one time. And they're the ones that really take care of our 14 halls and make sure we keep our community safe. In addition to those 4 platoons, we have 3 special teams, which a lot of times people don't recognize is that we also respond to ice water rescue calls. We respond to hazmat calls. We respond to technical rescue calls. And these are the types of calls that I want to be clear that we go beyond fires. We're often in those situations where we don't know where to call. We're the last resort, and I can tell you the 425 firefighters of the London Fire Department love what they do and love to serve the community.
Yeah, I get it. Matt, tell us a bit more about what your group does. Earlier in the first segment, you talked a little bit about a door-to-door campaign.
So the door-to-door campaign is actually completed by the fire crews.
Okay.
So basically we have the amount of firefighters that are on duty for one shift, they'll go out into their community surrounding the halls, and they'll go door to door and speak to the occupants and try to educate them about the dangers of smoke and CO, and then help them out with an alarm if they can.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And people might see this happening in their neighborhood and wonder, okay, why is there a fire truck coming down my street? Like, is that a waste of resources? But obviously, the firefighters need the fire truck, and the crew needs to be fully complemented in order to be able to respond if there's an emergency while they're doing the campaign.
Yeah, and like Chief Bridge said, public education is our first line of defense. and it's a responsibility of every single person who works for the London Fire Department, including us. When it comes from the chief to myself, everybody who works there, it's our responsibility to make sure that the public is educated. And like I said, public education is the first line of defense. If you know how to get out, if you know that you require a working smoke alarm, you know how to test your alarms, you know what the sounds of your carbon monoxide alarm are, you're going to be able to get out safely.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense to me. We're just about out of time, but Gary, you touched on it a little bit, but I wonder if you could just sort of outline what a typical day for a firefighter might look like. And it is a whole day, that 24 hours.
Yeah, so a typical day would be obviously get there, make sure the truck is prepped. So, I mean, that's a big part is they want to be, make sure they're available to respond. Obviously responding at any time between 4 to 5 calls a day, upwards into 20 or more calls a day. And then between there, we spend a lot of time training and preparing for that potential event. And then we mix into that things like public education. So as Chief Heptich indicated, we go out to the community, knock on doors. And at any time you see a truck in a community or at a grocery store, rest assured their radios are on, they're ready to be toned out, and they will respond at any time. So if anybody in the community sees them out in their neighborhood, rest assured their radios are on and they're prepared to respond to our community.
Yeah, fair enough. I want to go back to you, Matt, and just see if you've got an overall message that you want to deliver. I know that you covered a great deal of information, but what are the key points and the key takeaways?
Key takeaways for us is always make sure that you have a working smoke alarm. Make sure you have a carbon monoxide alarm installed in your home, and make sure you plan your escape. Fire doesn't wait for anybody. It can happen and occur anytime. So make sure that everybody knows what to do. But the first step is make sure that you have working smoke alarms on every floor of your home.
Right. And a lot of these, especially the older smoke alarms and carbon monoxide detectors, are battery powered. Do you have a suggestion of how often that those should be checked? I know we always say regularly, but what's regular look like?
So a battery powered smoke alarm should be tested monthly. And obviously our clocks just went back. It's a great time of the year to also change your batteries. So change your clocks, change your batteries. And like my friend Shannon always says, if you have a smoke alarm that looks like pumpkin spice latte at this time of the year, it's time for it to go.
It's time for a new one.
Yeah.
Gary, last word goes to you.
No, I just want the community to know that as a firefighting division, we're committed to the community and we're here to protect them in the event that they need us. And if there's ever a situation, I heard it previously from Chief Heptich, if the alarms are sounding, get out. We're prepared to come and serve.
Yeah, and that's, I think, very, very clear, and it's a good place to leave it. I think that I'd like to take the opportunity also to thank you both for your service, thank all of the staff, the firefighters as well, included at London Fire. It's hard work, and I'm telling you, as a citizen, if we're in the middle of an emergency, we need to see it fast, all the emergency service workers, and we're probably having one of the worst days of our lives if we're calling you. So thanks for everything that you do.
Thank you.
Well, London, that's the show. I hope you liked it, and I hope you know a little bit more about our city than you did a half an hour ago. Thanks to Jamie, Matt, and Gary for joining us today, and thank you for tuning in. Please keep in mind that this show is for you. It's about all things local and maybe some other stuff too. So please reach out and tell us what you think. Tell us what you'd like to see moving forward. Maybe you've got a topic to pitch. Well, you can email us at themattbrownpodcast@gmail.com. And that's the show. I'm Matt Brown, and this is the Matt Brown Podcast. Thanks for listening. Bye for now, and talk to you again soon, London.